Okay, hey, this is a continuation of my prior video. Uh, this is about the prophecy of Fatima, and you're going to be hearing a bit from Father Malachi Martin. He is one of the few people that have read the prophecy of Fatima, and he has sworn to secrecy that he can't divulge word for word what it said, but he can allude to the consequences of this prophecy. This is about the three little children that saw the Virgin Mary, and she gave them a message, things that God wanted us to do, that we were in trouble, and this would pull us out of it. And apparently they did not do it. So we don't get a do-over. We get a purification. And the purification is rather really very bad times in every sense of the word. And this ties into however you can picture that happening. But you have all kinds of prophecies, Mayan, you have Hopi, you have the Book of Revelation. What I've found by reading these, and just blank everything out of your mind and try to picture things of what could be, what did happen. Because the only reason that you know what you know is because you've either taught yourself and figured things out, so to speak, or you have been taught. So information that you know, that you believe to be real, is only because you've been taught and you've trusted who taught you. And maybe, rightfully so. We don't intentionally think people teach us wrong, because generally they don't. But that's what we think. But anyhow, Father Malachi is going to talk a little bit about the severity, and it does tie into maybe you get hit by an object from the sky, of which many prophecies talk about. And let's just take a little listen here. I want you to hear it.
Would you tell Art something about the 3 days of darkness when I'm done?
Yes, I will, briefly.
Doctor, 3 days of darkness?
Yes, there's no doubt about it. There are going to be 3 days when there's a great darkness over our earth, and during which it will be dangerous to be abroad, to be outside your home, and even in your home it may be dangerous.
3 days without sun?
3 days without the lateral light we're used to, Art, yes. Without that. But it's like everything else, when it takes place, they will endeavor to give it an astronomical and a geophysical explanation.
Father Malachi Martin?
Yes.
Is the child still alive, the one who became a nun?
Yes, she is. She's 89. She lives in Coimbra.
My God.
Wow.
My God. Has she ever said how she feels about the church not publishing the church
No, she
secrets?
keeps very quiet for the simple reason that she's been muzzled by the Vatican.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing that bothers me about this is if the church is going against what God has told them He wants them to do.
Yeah, in other words, what you're
their
saying...
people are out here and they see this. How do they expect us to keep following them in absolute faith?
Bonnie, what I want to say to you is, it's not the church, it's the churchmen.
Uh-huh.
They are being unfaithful to their vocation.
Yeah, but it seems like it's been so many.
You're telling Gus, whoever Gus was. I know that's our difficulty. That's what in the last 3 or 4 hours, Art and I were discussing, and I summarized it all by saying we are in apostasy to a large degree.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you, is there anything that we can do as individuals other than praying to avert what is coming in that third sequence?
We can't avert it now. It is coming. When is something else? But it is coming for sure.
Mhm.
We can mitigate it. We can mitigate it slightly, if you know what I mean. We can't avert it.
Is the only
Too
thing
late.
we can do is pray?
Pray, go to communion, say a rosary, cultivate the saints, stay in the state of grace,
Mhm.
do good, visit the sick, visit those in prison, do corporal works of mercy. In other words, Bonnie, we know what to do exactly if we want to do it.
Right, yeah.
But it's not going to be an easy time.
No, it doesn't
Unfortunately.
seem like we're in very easy times now anyway.
No.
Yeah.
But,
Bonnie, thank you.
thank you, Art. Bye-bye.
Take
Okay, not going to be an easy time. We're not getting out of it. You know, we can kind of cushion the blow by, getting in touch with our Maker and living right and trying to be good and help other people. But anyway, we figured we wouldn't get out of it anyhow. But this is all explaining why we won't get out of it. Nothing happens by coincidence. Everything that goes on is, he's in control. I'm not trying to, I know some of you don't believe, and I'm not trying to run you away. I'm not trying to put something out there and have you say, no, I don't want to hear this because I don't believe in that. I'm trying to attract you to open up the possibility that you can understand how all these things are related, and because they are, and why they are, and who they're related to. You can begin to understand how every little tidbit of this stuff ties in together. It has to happen. Unfortunate as it is, while it's happening, after it's happened, things will be righted the way they're supposed to be. But back to our incoming objects in Nibiru and tidal waves and earthquakes, it's these tribulations are intentionally being brought on. Some are man-made for the wrong reasons, some are just divine for fulfillment of the right reason. If you will go back to day one and you will study how we started, and be careful because you can overlook just 2 or 3 words, key words that can open doors for you. So you have to read things real careful to get the real meaning of what it said. And sometimes you could get confused, and sometimes you'll have to take a lot of time to dwell on something to get past it before you can understand everything else. But if you go through history, you can see how these things all stacked up to get us where we're at. You can see how civilizations were built and progressed and controlled and manipulated and molded from each period to the one we're in now to make things the way they are, so the table will be set for all this stuff. That's why our ancient ancestors drew it on cave walls and drew pictures of whoever these occupants were on this world, planet, ship, or whatever it turns out to be, because they wanted a record, and that's how they kept the record. They wanted to pass it on. Maybe that's the only way they had to do it, to keep a record, or maybe they had the foresight to think, all of us could be dead, except for a sparse few, so here's a message for them. And things like that you don't hear about till now, when we have the opportunity and the technology to bring it out so you can look at it, and you can hear at it, you can learn of it. I'm going to end this right now, and I'm going to continue it. So I will see you in the next one.